Yoga Mo-Flo workout. I'm Heather. I'll be guiding us through this Yoga Mo-Flo practice today. Today we're really going to focus on our stretching component. This is a little bit more of a beginner to intermediate workout. We're going to be working on some ankle mobility stuff and some core work and legs. So we're going to get started straight away, lying flat on our backs, on our mat. Go ahead and lie down and take your feet as wide as your yoga mat, and then just let your knees fall gently together. You can take one hand on your heart, the other on your belly, and just arrive here on your mat. We've got Henny Ruru with us today as our assistant, helping. And you might just want to take a minute to just notice your energy today. Maybe you can notice how your body feels, if you feel energized or tired, and maybe energetically think about how you feel, and maybe just mentally and emotionally where you're at today. And we'll check in again at the end and just see if we notice any shifts in our energy. So here with your hands resting on your chest and belly, just paying attention to the rise and fall as you inhale and exhale. Maybe even taking a moment to set an intention for the practice. Once you've done that, let's go ahead and take our knees into our chest, holding on one hand for each knee. And we're just going to make some circles. So separating the knees and then bringing them back together. We're just starting to warm up into our hips, into our pelvis. Sending some love to our bodies, and then let's go ahead and switch direction and go the other way. And straight away here, we're going to do a twist. So go ahead and take your knees to like a tabletop position and take your arms out to the side. And then go ahead and just let the knees fall over to the right. You can look over the left shoulder. And if you even want to place the right hand on top of that left knee just to get a little bit deeper twist. It is still so early in our practice. You may not be able to go very deep. And that's okay. We're just warming up the spine. And then go ahead and release that. Come back through center. And just gently let the knees fall to the left. Taking the right arm out, looking over the right shoulder, and gently resting the left hand on the right knee. And just pause. Then go ahead and release and come back to center. Bringing the legs back up and then placing the feet on the mat. Right away, we're going to go into some glute work. So we're here in our modified, our beginning of our bridge pose, and we're just going to lift up and down into bridge. So lifting the hips and lowering, but not touching all the way down. We're just kind of hovering the glutes above the ground. And we're going to be here for about a minute doing some glute bridge raises. So right away, warming up into the glutes, the backs of the legs. Go at your own pace. Try to breathe in and out through the nose. Maybe starting to feel it in the glutes. I am. And so from here, we're going to bring everything down and come into a cobbler type pose, not all the way down, but let's just bring the soles of our feet to touch, and we're going to do glute bridge raises in this position.
So now we're getting into the inner and outer hips, and that's a little bit of a theme today too. We're going to be doing some toning in the outer thighs, and this is also lighting up the inner thighs. And sometimes these muscles are not muscles that get a ton of attention, like if you do squats or lunges or things like that. The inner and outer thigh are just kind of supporter muscles. They're there to stabilize you, but we don't work them a ton. And so today we're going to work them. We're going to give them some of their own individualized attention. So we're just going up and down. We're not here forever. I know it seems that way, but we're just going to do a few more. Last one here, and release. From here, let's take our feet back parallel, lift ourselves back up into bridge. This time we're going to lift the right leg to the sky, and we're just going to do one-legged for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing at the top, drop the right leg, lift the left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Come all the way down. From here, let's go ahead and take our feet up to the sky. We're going to go ahead and lift our chest and shoulders off the mat. Pausing here for a second, and we're going to start to warm up our core. So we're just going to drop one leg at a time, let it hover above the ground. If it's too hard to have your legs straight, you can bend them. That might be a little bit easier for you. Otherwise, you can keep them straight. Also, if you feel like this is pulling on your neck, you can take your hands behind your head, which is what I'm going to do, and support my neck. So here, we're warming up and strengthening our lower abdominals, which is usually a problem area for women. I know that my lower abdominals, I've had 2 pregnancies, and it got stretched out. And so I just try to work that area. Not that you can target reduce anything, but just to tone it. Okay, from here, let's stop. Lower our head back down, and what we're going to do is lower our feet to the mat, and we're just going to come to 60 degrees, trying to keep our back flat to 45, dropping all the way down to maybe 10 degrees, and release. Very good. Let's go ahead and hug the knees back into the chest. You might want to release that lower back by rocking a little bit side to side. And we're going to do some roll-ups. But these are a little different from other roll-ups because we're kind of going to come up into like a half squat and then roll back down. We're only going to do a couple. So I'll show you first, and then we'll do 2 together. So we're just going to come up, pause, and take it back down. Let's do it twice. So a little half squat. Next time we're coming all the way up into a forward fold. So let's go ahead and take our feet a little wider than hip width and grab opposite elbows and kind of do our little ragdoll hang here. Very good. From here, I'm going to take my hands down. I'm going to walk my feet a little bit closer together. And 6 times, we're going to sit back into a squat. And so it's a little different from a yogi squat in that we're keeping our feet parallel, trying to keep our heels flat on the mat. But if they come up, no worries, that's okay. Everybody's a little bit different. We're just going to come down to a little squat like this and back up 5 more times. 2,
3, 4, and 5. Well done. Go ahead and forward fold. Lift up halfway. Back to a forward fold. Let's take our hands wide to the sky. Palms kiss, and immediately fold back down. From here, we're going to step back with our right leg into a low lunge. And so we're going to drop that right knee down, kind of getting yourself in alignment here, taking our arms, sweeping it up to the sky, and keeping it here in our low lunge. Being careful about the bottom ribs splaying out, trying to keep everything contained. And just pause here. Maybe letting the hips sink a little lower, feeling a stretch through that right hip flexor, and then go ahead and release the hands. Frame the left foot, lean back, coming into half splits. I have to extend my left leg out a little long, just because I have really long legs, to make sure that my hips are over my knee. And pause here, flat back, and then forward fold. So folding over that left leg, stretching out through that left hamstring. You can even sway a little bit side to side, and then you can look at your front foot and maybe rotate it side to side. Just trying not to be too static. All right, from here, I apologize, but I'm going to turn my back to you. We're coming into our gate pose. So turning on that right knee, I'm going to walk my left foot closer to the right side of my mat so that my knee and foot are in alignment, and come on up. Stretching our arms wide, taking the left arm, sliding it down the left leg, and reaching over with the right arm. You can even gaze to look up. And this you should just be feeling as a nice stretch through the right side of the body. Go ahead and release, coming down into a modified side plank. So taking the right hand on the ground, I'm going to take my left hand to my left waist, and we're doing 10 leg lifts. Here's 2, 3, getting into the outer thigh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, dropping the left foot, and then coming back into a runner's lunge. Go ahead and lift the back knee off the mat, and you can rock it out here a little bit. From here, let's take our right foot to meet our left, and forward fold. Flat back, and fold again. Spread the arms wide, rise up, palms kiss, right back down. All right, from here, let's go ahead and step back our left foot into our low lunge, dropping the left knee. Once you get everything stabilized, go ahead and raise the arms to the sky. Here we are in our low lunge. Being mindful of our lower ribs, not collapsing into the hips, but trying to pull out of the hips while we sink the hips a little bit further forward for that hip flexor stretch. Go ahead and release the hands down, framing the right foot. Going back into that half split, I'm going to slide my foot forward, lengthening out through the back, and then folding over the right leg. Again, you can move the hips. Don't be shy about movement. You kind of get into different areas of the muscle. It feels good. And then you can look at that front foot and start to turn it side to side. Just being incredibly mobile through the joints in our body.
So from here, bending that right leg again and kickstanding the left leg behind us, coming back into that gate pose, taking my right foot more towards the left side of my mat, coming up on my knee, reaching out and sliding the right hand down the right leg, left arm overhead, gazing upward, feeling that stretch to the left side body. Go ahead and release the left hand down. Coming into our leg lifts for our outer thigh, we're doing 10. So that's 10, 9, 8, here's 7, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Very good. Release that, coming back up, back to our low lunge. So go ahead and lift the back knee. You can rock it out a little bit here. And then take that left foot up to meet the right and forward fold. Halfway lift, fold once more, and reach to the sky. Palms kiss, pausing at the front of the heart. From here, just clothing, hair. My hair's about to fall out, I think. May have to retie it. And just pause for just a minute in your mountain pose. What we're going to do here is we're going to do some one-legged deadlifts with our right leg flying behind us. So reaching our right leg back, holding on our left leg, and coming back up. We're doing 8 of these. See if you can do them without putting that right foot down. A little balance challenge here. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. On the last one, we're going to hold. So we're kind of here in our warrior 3 prep, but we're going to take it to a half moon. So bringing that left hand about a foot in front of your left foot, opening up the hips, and then opening up through the side body. So a little balance challenge. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can turn this into a candy cane by grabbing the left foot, or the right foot rather, with the right hand, and stretching out the quad. Just pause here. From here, we're going to release, take a big step back into our warrior 2. Pausing here for just a second, looking over the front knee to make sure you can see those 2 toes, your big toe and the one next to it. Very good. From here, let's turn the left foot in, kind of keeping them parallel or even like pigeon toe a little bit, and we're going to do a forward fold. So I'm going to put my hands on my hips, lift my chest up to the sky, and fold forward. Come on down. So from here, you might need to walk your feet a little bit further out, do what feels best for you, and just come into your wide-legged forward fold and just pause here. Feeling a really nice stretch for the hamstrings, the inner groin. Well done. Go ahead and walk yourself back up to a flat back. And we're going to do a twist. So let's keep our left hand in front of our face, opening the right arm up to the sky, twist, and release. Replace the left with the right, and twist. From here, let's turn around and walk back to the front of our mat in our low lunge. And here we are in our low lunge. And then from here, we're going to take our right foot down, stepping our left foot back to meet it, and coming into a tabletop. So from here, we're going to do some kind of fire hydrant leg circles with our right leg. So our left leg is stabilized, and we're just going to start to lift the right leg out, making hip circles, getting into that outer hip. You kind of feel this a little bit in your right oblique. Let's go ahead and switch directions. Do a few here. Once you're done, go ahead and take the right leg up to a low lunge. Lift the left knee off the ground and take the left foot to meet the right and forward fold. Lift up to half or to flat back and forward fold. Let's reach our arms wide to the sky, palms kiss, hands to heart. Go ahead and adjust. We're going to do that all on the other side. So from here, we're going to start with those one-legged deadlifts on the right leg. So 8 times, taking that left leg back, seeing if we can not put the left leg down as a little balance challenge. There's 5, 6, 7, it's a challenge. And here's 8. Very good. Go ahead and step back to your, oh no, I'm sorry. We're not stepping back. We're taking our right hand in front of us, about a foot, and opening up into our half moon. So pausing here. If you want that added challenge of candy cane pose, grabbing the left foot with the left hand and getting an extra little quad stretch. If you want a major challenge for your balance, you can look off to the side. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay looking down. Go ahead and release, coming up into your warrior 2. So you may need to adjust yourself, gazing out over the palm of your hand, making sure you can see your front 2 toes, and just pause here. I know that right leg is probably screaming at you, so let's go ahead and turn it in, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. So get your feet situated, hands on hips, open the chest, and fold forward. You may need to walk your feet out a smidge, but coming into your wide-legged forward fold. And just hold here. I'm kind of excited because maybe only in the last 3 or 4 weeks have I gotten to the point where I can actually rest my head on the floor. So flexibility does take time, but working on it definitely pays off because I used to not be able to do that. All right, from here, let's take our twist. Left palm under the face, twisting up to the sky, reaching, hands away from each other, and switch. Replace, left hand to the sky. Very good, twisting, and release. Go ahead and walk to the top of your mat in your lunge. Put the left knee down. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Here you are on your tabletop. And we're going to do those little fire hydrant circles on the left side. So picking up the left knee and circling around, really getting into that left hip. strengthening it, which is so wonderful for stability, to keep us from falling. We're able to keep our balance when those hips are strong and stable. We are giving them some love today. Let's go ahead and switch directions. Going this way is really when I feel it in my oblique. So just some extra strengthening. It's like everybody likes to work on those love handle areas. So we're working on that as just a little bonus move. And release. Let's go ahead and step the left foot forward, lifting up the back knee, stepping the right foot to meet the left, and forward fold. From here, we're going to do our gorilla pose. So let's take our hands and slide them palms up under our feet, all the way to the wrists. If you need to bend the knees as much as you can, please do so. Once you do and you're here, see if you can begin to straighten the legs and maybe start to bend the elbows and pulling yourself closer to pulling your head closer to your shins. Getting a nice release through the back of the legs. You can also rock a little bit forward onto your hands, so you're kind of more on the balls of your feet than your heels. We're just here for a couple more seconds. And then go ahead and release. From here, we're stepping back into our plank pose. So pausing here in your plank, turning on your core, and then lifting the hips back into a down dog. So from here, we're going to do a little core work. So from our down dog, I'm going to touch my left ankle with my right hand, come forward into a plank, and then switch to the other side. So from here, we're just going back and forth. You can even take your feet a little bit wider if that feels better for you. So not only is this a core strengthener, but it's also strengthening your shoulders. Keep going. We are going to be here in total for about a minute, and I think we're about halfway there. So let's just keep moving. Let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to plank. And let's slowly lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto our backs. Our bellies. From here, let's do a full locust pose. So let's bend our knees, grab hold of our ankles with our hands, and then we're just going to lift everything off the ground. So pulling everything up and just holding here. Don't forget to breathe. See if you can lift up a little bit more. And release. Go ahead and make a little pillow with your hands for your forehead. And just rock out the hips, releasing the lower back. From here, let's stretch out our shoulders, take our right arm out to the side, rolling onto the right side, kickstanding our left foot back, and stretching out our shoulder. The core work really gets your heart rate up, so that's a nice little bonus too. And go ahead and release. Coming through center, let's take our left arm out, rolling onto the left side, kickstanding with our right foot behind us, and pause. Let's release that, coming back onto our bellies. Taking our hands underneath our shoulder, we're going to push back through tabletop, then taking our knees wide, coming into a child's pose. So come on down. If you can, let your forehead relax on the mat. I'm keeping my arms active this time just to get a really nice stretch through my shoulders and arms. And just pausing here. From here, let's go ahead and walk our hands back, keeping our legs just as they are. We're going to do some little, what I call camel sweeps. So we're going to take our right arm, hand behind us on the ground, lifting our hips, bringing our left arm overhead, and then coming down, sweeping around to the other side. Left arm, hand down, right arm up, and then just go back and forth. So moving your own rhythm, your own breath. I really like this move because it feels, I was never a dancer, but I feel like it has like a modern dancey type feel. Like I used to watch this show, So You Think You Can Dance. And they'd always do like really emotional dances and do moves like this. That's what it makes me think of. All right, so go ahead and pause here with the right arm back. Just really stretching. Release, come through center. Let's do left hand back, stretching, and release. Let's go ahead and bring our knees together into our hero's pose. And from here, we're gonna just do 5 of these, but we're gonna come up onto our toes. So we kind of lift up to our knees, rest on our toes, and come back down. That's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's our last one. 5. Back to hero's pose. Very good. All right, I'm just gonna roll over to one side, kick my legs out long, and here we're gonna do a forward fold. So go ahead and take arms to the sky, folding over the legs, grabbing wherever you can, and releasing the back, coming back down. You can even do a little sway, side to side. Just stretching out to wherever feels good for you. All right, let's go ahead and walk our hands back up. From here, we're going to lower onto our backs, keeping our knees bent. And we're actually going to do a little bit of a challenge here. We're going to do full wheel for 3 times, like back bend push-ups. If that is not in your practice, that is not a big deal. You can just do the bridges like we did at the beginning of class, just lifting up in your bridge hold. It's your yogi choice, so you do what feels best for you. So if you're going to take full wheel 3 times, we just put our hands flat close to our ears, behind our heads, and then we push up with our feet like we're going into a bridge, but then stretch up through the front body, and then release it back down. Let's just do that twice more. Last time. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Come on back down. Go ahead and take your right leg out long. Let's bring your left knee into your shoulder, just holding it here. That was a nice little challenge at the end. Just pause, really squeezing that left knee into the shoulder, and then taking it across the body, And reaching the left arm out, looking over the left shoulder. And just notice here how it feels to twist now than when we twisted at the beginning of the class. If you feel like your back has a little bit more openness to it, a little bit mobility, not judging it, but just noticing, having a little bit of an awareness of our bodies and what's happening. Go ahead and release. Extend that left leg long. Let's pull the right knee in towards that right shoulder, squeezing it, letting the breath return to normal. We're taking some deep breaths like I am, getting excited about going into Shavasana in just a minute and being done. Go ahead and twist across, looking out over that right shoulder, and just noticing what your body feels like, maybe how the energy is moving through your body. And release. So now we're releasing everything. Go ahead and open the legs out as far as your mat. You can just let those feet flop open. Hands out to the side, take up space, palms up. Enjoy your Shavasana. Take this little rest. Let your breathing pattern return to normal. We're only here for a minute or two. And you worked for and deserve this little bit of rest. Go ahead and extend the arms above the head. Doing one great big good morning stretch, stretching out through the entire body. And go ahead and release, roll to one side. Pause here in a fetal position for just a minute. And then push yourself up to a seat in the middle of your mat. I want you to just take a second here, maybe shut down the eyes, revisit what we did in the beginning of class, noticing how your body feels, doing a little bit of a head to toe scan, and then you can notice whether or not your body feels a little bit more relaxed. Once you do a physical scan, scan yourself energetically. See how your energy feels emotionally, mentally. See if anything has shifted there. Bring your palms to your heart. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Yoga Mo-Flo class. We worked on our flexibility, we worked on our strength, we worked our bodies head to toe. I hope you enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a like button or click the like button. You can hit subscribe so you don't miss any Yoga Mo-Flo classes, and you can leave any suggestions or comments below. I do like to read them all, and I do try to respond. So I will see you next time, and have a wonderful day.